you will be continually operating in unhealthy choices. And 2 unhealthy choices never create a healthy outcome. Our best response to a powerless person is, what are you doing about that? What have you tried? What are you willing to try next? Can I explain that? What are you doing about that part? Yeah, so if you are in a relationship with a powerless person, meaning somebody who refuses to step out of their instinct or is unable to step out of their instinct reaction, most of us develop codependent relationships with people like this. I have done this. I'm still walking this out. You develop a codependent relationship where you either become alternatingly a victim and a rescuer in that relationship, which is, let me try to navigate this in such a way, let me try to make you feel better, let me walk you to the place where you can get some help. We try to jump in and rescue the relationship, or we remain a victim of the relationship, and what ultimately happens is we attempt to manipulate and control others to create the outcome that we want. So the best way to have a conversation with someone who is unable to step out of this place is when they tell you their issue, what have you done about that? What are you going to do about that? What have you tried? Because it puts back in their hands the opportunity to become a what? Powerful person. This is about agreeing with God about people being magnificent and powerful, and not finding ourselves roped in the constant dynamic of being either a victim or a rescuer in our most significant relationships. Powerless people seek to control others through their overt or covert actions. Powerless people seek to manipulate and control others through their overt or covert actions. That's when you kick the door and you say you're not upset. That's the covert, That's when I'm not really upset, but I'm going to give you the silent treatment. Those are the controlling and manipulative ways that you can communicate that you are displeased, and you're now punishing the other person so that they will know that they did wrong. There's a myriad of those. We don't need to get into all those. Powerful people seek to control themselves. Powerful people seek to control themselves. And on a good day, they're successful. Right? Most of us have been raised in cycles of love, control, fear, and punishment. Right? That's how we raise our kids. I will punish you if you do the wrong thing. You'll have a consequence. I'm currently, this is how we raise kids. Most of us were raised in that environment. We were raised to obey and comply. Unfortunately, what that teaches us is that we need to control other people in order to get the response we're looking for. We control people by behaving nicely when they behave nicely with us. We punish them or and instead of responding to the wisdom of the Holy Spirit in the moment, right? We find ourselves trying to navigate using their feedback mechanism as our reward for whether or not we got it right. Other people are not the indicator of our health. The Holy Spirit and the Father and the fruits of the Spirit are indicators of our healthiness, not whether or not that person responded in the way that we want them to. Thoughts, comments? It's good. Okay, we're going to wrap it up with some really good news. This is like deep stuff, right? I'm not trying to bring, and you all know this, and we're all in community together because we are walking this out together. We are learning how to become powerful people together. We are allowing others the freedom to choose to become powerful people on their own. Our joy is to continue to see each other the way God sees us and to agree with God until each of us becomes fully convinced of who we really are. Adrian, your example was perfect of that. You shared that you were still in the process. We continue to agree, and now you're celebrating, what it is that God was already doing in your life, that we just get to be a part of honoring and celebrating. So many here have stories, of how God is giving them the confidence to stand, to stand in the person who God made them to be. So how about this? Our identity as a powerful person, can you put identity here somewhere? I don't know where, somewhere.
Trying to put stuff under it.
Just a tiny bit. As a powerful person, our identity is someone who has the ability to control ourselves. When the world says that powerful people are ones who have the ability to control others. This is counter this world system. So our identity is our ability to control ourselves. And all that word control means is that we're able to follow through on our own intentions. I intend to be loving with my family. How often am I that? I intend to be honoring of other people. How often am I able to follow through on that? I intend to accomplish certain things in my week. How often am I able to follow through on that? I intend to honor myself and other people. How often do other people feel honored? We just talked about at the very beginning how you can have the best intentions, but it doesn't come across the way that you want it to. See, that's very helpful to know, is that Greg wanted to give us the best vacation. For us, the best vacation was him being joyful. Everything else could have broken down, fallen apart, and we could have sat on the side of the road in 115-degree weather. But if Greg is okay and happy, we're all good. Right, Darby? Seriously. Well, but we can have the perfect vacation, but if we have a super stressed out person with us who's constantly waiting for the next, shoe to drop, it sucks all the joy out of the room. So good. In fact, are you willing to share that thing I asked you about? I forgot to ask you before. Is that okay?
I don't think we have time right now.
We do have time.
We don't have time.
Okay, that's just, okay. Identity, and then our goal. Our goal in all relationships is so funny and simple, easy. Healthy, appropriate intimacy. Healthy, appropriate intimacy. If you find yourself continuing to navigate distance and protection in your relationship, then the Lord wants to help you grow up to be a more powerful person so that you can be healthy even in relationships that aren't healthy. So that will be part of our series as we continue, is how do we establish healthy boundaries and healthy ways of communication with people who aren't going to just disappear in our lives, right? How do we do that? How do we continue to be healthy with people who are unable to be healthy? And how does God help us navigate that journey of our powerfulness not being squashed or dissipated by someone else who's significant in our life? How does God want us to walk that road? Isn't that so joyful? And then even bigger than that is, how is God wanting to give you the gift of these 10 things? So if you'll flip that back around, because I believe a whole huge part of why we're even doing this adventure together on Sunday nights is so that we can become the person that God made us to be. We can become a person who has the capacity to dream and see their dreams come into fulfillment, so that we can be the people who are creative and intimate and fulfilled and no longer compelled by our past hurts and our past pains, but we are invigorated and excited about the person that God made us to be. And a huge part of being free to do that is having the healing that we need in our perceptions so that we have the freedom to be the person we were always meant to be. So the good news is any part of your numbers that you evaluated on your thing that fall less than where you wanted them to be, less than a 5, on any of these areas, that is not your true self. You're not trying to overcome some deficit of your true self. All that you are overcoming is the hurt and pain in your life that came, I guarantee it, from injustice. And the injustice that you experienced that caused you to become a person that's less than who God made you to be. And Jesus came to put all injustice to rest. And he came, and it says when he died, he entered into hell. And does anyone know what he did in hell? This is like my most favorite part. He went into hell and he took captivity captive. He took everything that holds us captive, even our own mental processes, and he took that captive to peace. All captivity, everything that has held us, all of our addictions, all of our inabilities are being held by Christ in us, the Prince of Peace. Yes, right? That's good news. Yay. Okay, so let's celebrate somebody's identity right now and give them an encouraging word about who God made them to be. So, do we have anyone who would like to volunteer for that?